Hello, I'm Bonnery.
I'm Bredmo,
and this is IFXtra. So, how's everyone this week? Another hot week, haven't we? Bit of rain in between, though. Warm rain.
I mean, you say a bit of rain in between, like it just absolutely heaved it down, didn't it?
That's a new word.
What?
Heaved it.
I always say that.
I've never heard you say that.
Like I've literally said it, I don't know, 3 times this week.
Really?
I don't know where it comes from,
No.
but like that's a thing, isn't it?
Never
Like for
heaved it
really
down.
heavy rain.
Chalked it down? Or...
I think it's like hefted, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay, yeah. Nice. I like new words.
I'm going to have to look that up afterwards.
Okay.
Maybe it is just me.
Anyway,
I don't know.
at least I didn't have to go and water my flowers because they got watered naturally, which is cool.
Mm.
And we did need the rain because all the lawns are looking a bit brown everywhere, aren't they? So, what have you been doing this week, work-wise?
Same kind of thing as ever, really. Dealing with some client stuff, but also doing some interference.
Oh, good.
I was doing a bit just before this, actually. Cool. Yeah. Sort of kind of little bits that individually are boring, but when you put stuff together, it's all good. Cool. I mean, sort of things. When I've been going through, a lot of the time, you just like you put in a placeholder for something, and because like, oh, I'll work out the logic for that later. I mean, the best example is something like where we show on the forums. We have like a list of the different forums, and then we say stuff like, you know, X posts by Y users in. Sorry, I should have said this a different way around. You know, like 10 posts by 3 users in the last hour or whatever. And when I've done the original pass through all of this, it's all been like X posts by Y users. I'll wire that up later. So I've just been kind of going through and
wiring up.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And so it's sort of small things, but it makes everything look less like a test.
Okay.
Which is nice, but sometimes it's nice just to sort of be able to sit down and just churn out a load of little things.
Feels like progress.
Yeah. So we're getting there. Cool. I mean, it's the 31st today, which means it's the last day of May, which means it's June tomorrow, which means it's IFX Day at the end of the month. So I've basically got like 28 days to get it done if I want to get it done for the birthday,
which you do.
Yeah. So feeling confident about that at the moment.
Good.
Yeah,
cool. Okay, why don't we go and see who won this week's awards? Picture of the week this week goes to Metal Mishmosh for a super cool cat. I just love that psychedelic cat in the dark. He looks amazing. Well done, Metal.
My favourite description this week was Sherlock Holmes is Mary Poppins in Egypt by Page. Yeah, they've picked out all of the components there and then mashed them together in some sort of crossover film that I'd really like to see. Nice work, Page.
Community pick of the week this week goes to Heraclium for Penguin swimming underwater. What a beautiful action shot. He's just like dove into the water and there's all bubbles around him. That's perfect. Such a brilliant picture. Well done, Heraclium. They were amazing.
Awesome stuff there, as always.
Now it's time to see what we were talking about last week in the forums. So last week I said, what was the last concert, performance or play you went to? Because last week we went to see the Vitamin String Quartet in Manchester, which is quite cool. And they are they do modern songs, but in an orchestral way with their string quartet, don't they? And this concert was Taylor Swift and music from Bridgerton. Yeah. Which they supplied a lot of different songs for Bridgerton.
They did a few other sort of random bits as well.
Yeah, they did actually, yeah.
But
the last bit was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, these guys have got like, what was it, 400, did you say, albums?
Oh, yeah. 400 albums, yeah.
And like they do, everything's a cover pretty much.
Yeah.
But they'll do like a whole album of
The Cure.
Yeah.
Or the Smiths. Or-
They did one from Fallout Boy
Oh,
at
yeah.
at the gig.
Yeah.
But yeah, all kinds of stuff. And so when you're watching Bridgerton, which B's got me really into now, they'll be doing, you know, sort of formal, what do you call it, like Regency? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dancing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they'll be doing, you know, dancing, except the music, it'll be, you know, old string quartet music, except it will actually be, if you listen to it,
Oh, I know his tune.
yeah, what's that?
Dancing on My Own is one of them.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah. Or Cheap Thrills. That was one that they did at the show,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
What's that? I don't know. Is it Billie Eilish or something?
I don't know any
Bad
of those.
Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a song?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool, and so you hear all this contemporary music, but it's in the style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really good, really good.
Very, very good, yeah.
They are on tour around Europe at the moment, so if this sounds like your jam, definitely recommend.
It was like a massive queue to go in, and
was
everyone,
really
it's
good.
like a pop concert, wasn't it? Everyone was wild, and they encouraged singing along and things sometimes. Anyway, I said, how about you? And Pointy Cassia said, back in April, I took my mum to see a live show of Jeff Wayne's musical version of The War of the Worlds. I love that so much. I'd love to see that. I've never seen it. When it was in my city during a tour, I'd seen a poster of it and mentioned it to my mum because we both liked the music from it. But I had no idea mum wanted to see it live that badly when I got the tickets. She was very excited on the day. I think I would be. And she wouldn't stop singing. I had no idea that Jeff Wayne himself would be there as a conductor. Maybe I should have read more about the cast beforehand. Wow, that sounds like an amazing night.
Cool.
What a nice thing to do. Whoa, I'd love that.
I also quite like the way that you just went straight through that without giving me a chance.
Okay, go on, say your bit.
No. It's because you know, when you said, "Oh, Pointy Cat is in April," took them home to see there, and I could have feigned surprise and said, "No one would have believed." Yes.
That's how it begins.
Yes. And I always quote that for various reasons. Anyway, I digress. Zelfod says, Vitamin String Quartet sounds fun. The last concert I was at was, now, you tell me this is Sloth Rust.
Yeah.
Although I read it as Slow Thrust.
No, it's Sloth Rust. Yeah.
Like a sloth that's rusting. Okay. Sloth Rust and Weekend Friends with my wife and niece was at a local venue that used to be an auto repair shop.
Very cool.
That's cool. This venue that we went to for Vitamin String Quartet was a
chapel, was it?
Wesleyan
chapel. Yeah.
And it had been converted into this venue, and there was like a sort of a bar next door in the other part of the ex-chapel, and it was like the same people had sort of taken over it, like preserved it and things. And stuff.
All the really, stained glass windows are still there.
This was the Albert Hall in Manchester.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Very cool. Okay.
Jean Breur says, it's been a while since I last went to a concert, so I'm not really sure, but I think it was Orpheus and Opera. Very nice. Biggest concert was Eminem in Amsterdam. That's like 20 or more years ago. Wow. Fancy seeing Eminem.
That's
Never got to see him, yeah.
I mean, that's quite a range as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. No, it's good to have such a range. I love it.
You've always been a fan of Eminem because you say he's a poet.
Yeah, he is.
Which is true, really. I think it's interesting as well, just going off on a slight tangent. I haven't got the waffle shirt on, the I Digress shirt on. But like I didn't go to a music gig until, I don't know, it was like 2002 or something. Wow. So, you know, I was like in my early 20s. But like you and Goose used to go to like loads of them, and you've seen like everything, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen Oasis, seen Cool, seen Manic Street Preachers, all kinds of stuff. Lots and lots. Anyway, is that it? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now why don't we go see what we're talking about next week in the forums? It has been hot lately. Tell us your favourite ice cream flavour. Mine is rum and raisin. You can't get it everywhere, but when we go to the ice cream farm, I always have that one. How about you?
If you'd like to chime in with that, just head over to the general discussion forum. It's the pinned thread for the week, so you'll find it at the top of the thread list.
Cool. Now don't forget, tomorrow night is Zeitgeist Night. Woo, the quiz with 5 rounds of 5 different topics.
Yep, on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. UK time over on twitch.tv/interference, we run Zeitgeist, the Interference Quiz of the Week, live interactive quiz stream where you play along against the rest of the audience, compete for points and places on the leaderboard. Now, I say Sunday nights, so it's going to be episode 6 of season 23 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the following week, we've got a week off.
A week off, yeah.
But, you know, we're there pretty much every Sunday.
Mid-season break, yeah.
Anyway, the point is, each round is based on a drawing from Interference. Bunnery picks 5 drawings that catch her eye and then uses them as inspiration for the rounds. So, would you like to tease us with the names of the featured artists?
Okay, this week's famous artists are Heraclium, Sumeria, Mr. Smoke, Sludge Lord, and Callum.
Okay.
Cool.
Interesting. Now, the catch is, of course, we don't know what the pictures are. Not even me, I just show up and press the buttons. But we don't know what the pictures are and hence what the topic's going to be until the night. But, you know, we've got like 24 hours or so to percolate on what stuff they've drawn this week that it might be. Okay, right, so that's what happened last week. But no, that's what's happening this week. Right. The problem with this is because I have to point my hands the opposite direction, and it confuses me because you know you're facing us this way. So wow. Right. I don't even know what I'm doing. That's what's happening
tomorrow.
But what happened last week?
Last week, a goose won. With 234, that's quite a score. Darth was sang with 220 and Singles was said with 202. So we got them over the 200, so it must have been a bit easier last week.
Yes, because the last few weeks no one's got over 200, which is sort of like the benchmark that you're kind of trying to hit, isn't it? Yeah, maybe a little bit trickier than usual, but last week, a bit more normal.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay, that's all the news for now. Just goes to say.
Yeah, if you're not really taking part in the game, then get involved. You can play on the web at playinterference.com or search for Interference in the App Store on your device and download the app. You can also join the chat with us over on Discord, playinterference.com/Discord. We got all sorts of random discussion about anything really, but we've also got, you know, cats, games, food, all of the important stuff. WaffleCon discussion as well, because that's happening in a couple of months. But yeah, all kinds of stuff. We would love to see you over there. Also, if you'd like to give us a bit of monthly support for the ongoing maintenance of the game, building this new web version and then new apps and then all of the other stuff that I want to do for you, you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/interference. And that'll make you a supporter on Interference. So you get access to cool things like replays, you get extra game modes, all that kind of stuff. And if you're a quiz player, you get a custom entrance shout out from Ava.
Cool. That's the best bit. Okay, that's it for now. So we'll see you again next Saturday.
Okay, yep. Have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday.
Bye-bye.